What's going on? We back. Goodfella Sports TV back on Boxing Grind Active Morning. A little bit under the weather. Apologize if that affects the video. Shout out to everybody following us on Twitter. We back on Twitter, so let's get them follows up. If you haven't followed me, we on Facebook as well. About to reboot the Facebook page, and got some interesting ideas for it. So be more active on there. Also into Detroit sports or Detroit's current events. You can also subscribe to me at Motor City Sports Talk on YouTube and also on Facebook as well, and Twitter and Instagram. We're working on our platforms, baby, over there. But Billy Joe Saunders has been suspended for 6 months and, can't enter the WBO rankings for at least 9 months. Okay? I find it interesting that Billy Joe Saunders, a part of his suspension, at least I haven't read, and I've been reading a few articles, he won't be subject to random drug testing on his suspension. Now, it's not known if he can compete in other sanctioned belt bodies and continue to fight, or will he just be suspended? He got some community service. He got to work with some kids. They do all this crap. But these dudes fail a drug test, say it's nasal spray, say it's the meat, and get a 6-month suspension or a 9-month suspension technically for Billy Joe Saunders, because it's 3 months after a 6-month suspension he can enter the rankings, I believe, if I read it correctly. And don't have to take random doping tests during a 6-month suspension. What good is a suspension then? I don't understand it. I understand the WBO doesn't do a vital drug testing program. They don't do random drug tests. Neither does the IBF, neither does the WBA, is supposed to have a random drug test system coming, or I don't even know if it's already in place. WBC is the only one that has a 24/7 365 test, but it's not 24/7 365, whatever they claim it to be. It's only for when it's time to fight. Whatever it is, 3 months out, 4 months out to a fight, whatever it may be. So you can do your thing, you can juice up, cycle off of it, still get the benefits, enter camp, and pass those drug tests. Okay? So, basically, Billy Joe Saunders, gets the same treatment Canelo Alvarez. And that's fair. That's square biz. It's fair, okay? But both of them have been subject to random drug testing. Period. How can I suspend somebody and expect them to go away from the sport of boxing for 6 months and stay clean? Nah, in my opinion, I already think they're guilty unless they have a reasonable cause, which ain't a reasonable cause for clenbuterol Alvarez or Oxilofrine Saunders. It's no reasonable cause. They did it. They know what they was doing. They probably been doing it. Okay? And now they get a slap on the wrist. No random drug testing, no nothing during a 6-month suspension. Oh, you got to do community service with kids. Well, what does that do? Shout out to the kids. Okay? But like I say, the boxing system is flawed, man. It's very, very flawed. Billy Joe Saunders, he get a slap on the wrist, in my opinion. Canelo get a slap on the wrist. There's been guys that been 2-time PED offenders like Alexander Povetkin. And it's up to the fans. The casual public. The hardcore public. The purist public. All the boxing fans to demand more from the system. If that fighter has the complexion for the selection, or if one of your favorite fighters, it seemed like he get a pass. Oh yeah, it was nasal spray, or he ate bad meat, in Mexico, when all the other fighters in Mexico eating bad meat and not getting popped. Okay? It's just despicable in my Daffy Duck voice. It's despicable. At the end of the day, he do lose 6 months. I don't know if he can box anywhere else. He probably can still box in the IBF, WBA, IBF. Now, we've seen an instance where the WBA suspended Luis Ortiz for a failed VADA WBC drug test. And he was suspended from the WBA. He wasn't even suspended from the WBC because he was cleared. It was so funny. Deontay Wilder predicted that. He said he was in Miami flushing the pads out. With IV, he knew that. So I don't feel bad for Billy Joe Saunders or Frank Warren. Because Billy Joe Saunders was looking like an absolute monster when he got with Dominic Ingram. Never had a six-pack before. Was a fat guy. Couldn't box all 12 rounds strong. Even though David Lemieux seemed like he got 2 left feet. That wasn't something he was doing before. You know? We knew Canelo struggled with making 154 his whole career. We knew that. We knew he struggled making 154. So how was he cutting that weight? Come on. He just ain't fucked around and just ate some bad meat, quote unquote, or fucked around and took this nasal spray, quote unquote, before the Andrade fight or before the Triple G fight. This ain't no coincidence. This square business. This hard evidence. You know what I'm saying? Both should have a year-long ban of random drug tests funded out of their pockets or funded by their promoter. They should have been both gone. Canelo shouldn't be eligible to start training, or he shouldn't be eligible to fight until September of next year. You know, he can be cleared to start, you know, preparing and signing for a fight in May, or whenever he failed the drug test in February. But it should be a 4-month period from February, I would guess, June. He should be able to come back and fight. You shouldn't be suspended for 6 months and come back the week after and be in whatever it was and be eligible to fight. Billy Joe Saunders should have been suspended from when he failed that drug test all the way to the day he failed it. And then 3 months out, you know, he should be eligible to come back and fight. Seriously. It slaps on the wrist. You get suspended and you can continue fighting other sanctioned belt bodies. You get suspended. You're not subject to the random drug test. Then what's the point of suspension? I got stripped of my title. I'm going to go fight for another one. Boxing is so effed up, man. It's so effed up. You know? They should have been suspended for a year with random drug tests funded out of their pocket. They shouldn't be able to fight nowhere. Nowhere. Abu Dhabi, Asia, Australia, Nevada, Texas, Mexico, Hawaii, Canada, Antarctica, Alaska. They shouldn't be able to fight nowhere. No commissions to sanction them fighting. Whole year off and not making no money, but spending money for your vital drug test. And if you fail another test in between that time, then it's another 2-year ban on top of that. After that, your career is over with. You know, all these guys claim they don't know what's being put in their body. Oh, this guy gave me this. Well, you better ask. You better ask. Guys getting off scot-free. You know, the public forgetting about it, giving guys like Canelo praise. Luis Ortiz failed the drug test versus Latif Coyote back in the day. Then he failed another one before the Wilder. You know, people tend to forget about that. You know, all these guys, you know, it's just like it's the NFL. People just forget. No, I ain't gonna forget. You know, we can't forget. You know what I'm saying? You can't forget. And like I say, man, Billy Joe Saunders, he probably about to go up and do his thing, man, while he gone. He gonna come back looking like the Hulk. You know, but hey, that's boxing. That's boxing for you. What happens when you don't have a whole international governing body, a whole international commission? Oh, I can't fight here, I go fight there. But it's Goodfellas Sports TV. Appreciate you guys listening to us, man, and shout out to everybody holding us down, all the brothers and sisters. I definitely appreciate it. Don't forget we back on Twitter, so you know, check us out there. The links in the description. We on Facebook, about to reboot the Facebook, so you guys can check that out as well. All right. Yeah, I'm about to do a lot more content pushing on Facebook these days, so be on the lookout for us over there. You can DM me, inbox me questions. You can email me questions, business inquiries, whatever you got. You can DM me, inbox me. I'll try to get back to my soonest convenience. Shout out to everybody that continues to donate. The donation link is in the description. Man, hopefully we can go live. A little bit under the weather right now, man. So hopefully I can get a live stream in later. But I'm gonna continue to push this boxing, push sports, and shout out to everybody that's holding us down, man. And make sure you hit the subscribe button, like the video, or dislike it if you don't like it, and comment and tell me why. Y'all know what the business is. We gone.